Hey, everybody, good evening. And how's everybody doing tonight? Well, I'll tell you what, I'm flying solo tonight. Josh has got wrangled into work and everybody called out due to the snowstorm. So he got stuck there on site doing, taking care of everything. So, yeah, we're going to be crashing and burning and turning and yearning here. It's going to be interesting this evening. But yeah, we're going through a good sized storm up here in Connecticut. And I've been shoveling snow and been pushing snowflakes around for the better part of 3.5 hours today. It's interesting. It's something that I don't enjoy doing. That's for sure. I just got to get down to South Florida, just stay there is what I'm thinking. But yeah, so I don't know. It's interesting. So what are you gonna do? Wintertime. It's close. We're under 80 days now before the South Florida drone meetup, so that should be good. I got quite a bit of that. Looking forward to my packing and my list of everything to bring. And I don't know how many batteries I'm bringing though. It all depends. I might have to see if I get a little extra room on board to fly with some extra batteries and cases and stuff like that. But so at any rate, I'm going to move along to our special guest tonight. He's somebody that I've admired his stuff for quite a while now, and he does some incredible work. But let's bring in Lance all the way from the other coast. Hey,
Hey
Lance, how you doing?
guys, how are you doing, John?
Good. How's everything going tonight?
Really good. Actually, it's about 3:05 in the afternoon, so it's not quite night for me, but like you on the
Nice,
East Coast. Yeah,
beautiful. I
yeah,
see
yeah.
you're supporting your team.
Woo, you bet, you bet.
Nice.
Great game last night.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. We're getting
Yeah,
down there.
sorry for you, New England folks, but the real Super Bowl was yesterday.
Yeah. No. Absolutely. Listen, I got no dog in the fight, so I'm okay. I'm,
Yeah,
I'm, I'm wide open. Whatever. I just like the game.
yeah, you bet.
Yeah. No. That's great. That's great. So how's the weather out in your area?
It's starting to get a little cloudy. It's been really nice. In fact, yesterday was beautiful. It was absolutely gorgeous for
Hmm.
the game. Cold, not as cold as you guys, but cold, 29 to 32 degrees game time, I think.
Wow.
And
Okay.
yeah, it was beautiful and sunny. It's starting to cloud up a little bit. It's supposed to be raining by Wednesday. I wanted to
Hmm.
go down and fly the Space Needle on Wednesday morning before work, but it's supposed to be raining, so I canceled that. I was going to fly with another buddy of mine,
Yep.
and I just said, it doesn't look good. So
Yeah. Your Space Needle footage lately, I'm blown away. Just
thank you,
phenomenal.
thank you.
Really. What have you been flying to catch it all?
So the Air 3S is my new bird of choice. My
Hmm.
Mavic 3 died,
Oh.
so I don't fly that anymore. So I end up getting the Air 3S, and I love it.
Hmm.
Great, great drone. I like the lidar. I also picked up the Mini 5 Pro, and I like that. I haven't flown believe it or not, I have not flown the Pro since I bought the Air 3S, and I bought them almost back to back. And
Yep.
so I need to, but I am going to go to Mexico, so I'm going to take the Mavic 5 Pro down there because it's a mini drone compared to
Hmm.
you can fly it down there in Mexico if it's a mini drone. So
Yep. No, whereabouts you're going in Mexico?
we're not positive, but probably Puerto Vallarta. My daughter, um, it's her spring break,
Oh,
and
okay.
so we'll fly her down. We'll meet her down there, and then we'll come back, and she'll fly back to San Diego. She's at San Diego State
Oh,
University.
beautiful.
Yeah,
Nice. Yeah, that's all. Just got to map out what you're flying because I'll tell you what, there's so much down there to fly. It's overwhelming at times.
exactly, exactly. And I am so looking forward to the Avata 360. We say any day now,
Yeah.
right?
Hmm.
In fact, I thought someone said today, the 26th, maybe. Didn't come out though,
I
did it?
That's no, not to my knowledge. I've been I've been outside shoveling, but I'm not don't have my finger on the pulse today. That's for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
But so you're big into 360?
I am. I am. I have the Air 2S, and I
Hmm.
have the Sphere. You know, it's the Insta Sphere that kind of straps on the side of one of the wings,
Oh,
and
wow.
and actually on the body, but it hangs over to the side, and it
Hmm.
does 360, and it's really nice. And then I also have a Mavic 2 Pro, and I have a little strap on the top, and I just put the 360 on the top,
Oh,
so I
yeah.
get the drone underneath, but I
Yep.
get everything up on top. But the Air 2S, you know, it's seamless. You don't see the drone at all.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Wow. How's the editing been for you with it, with the 360
You
stuff?
know, the editing doesn't bother me too much. You know,
Hmm.
my skill set is video editing anyway.
Okay.
I teach video editing and photography, and so I kind of know that realm a little bit. So
Hmm.
I know some people struggle, and I don't know if they struggle. It's time consuming. I mean, have a plan when you go out there, right? So just don't fly willy nilly, but say, okay, I'm going to fly this flight, and I know what I'm going to want to capture or
Hmm.
edit once I'm flying. So as I fly, I know, okay, at some point I want to get that building, and I'm on the I'm on my flight about halfway, and I know where that building's going to be, so I can grab the edit fairly easier than if I
Hmm.
just go out there and don't have a plan. So
Yep.
if I got that plan, it's gonna help me a little bit. And
Yeah.
then I've also strapped it on the Avata 2, and
Wow.
that's nice. And Dennis Lovelady and Captain Joe both printed me a connector for that. Dennis did one where the camera sat vertical,
Hmm.
and Joe, I said I wanted to lay it down this way,
Yep.
it is more aerodynamic, and he figured out how to print it this way. So I have both versions, and
Oh, wow.
yeah, so yeah,
So you don't want to
yeah.
get into 3D printing on your own?
Not 3D printing. I let those guys do. I just say, Joe, what can you do for me?
Yeah.
And I say,
Yeah.
here's a
No.
couple of bucks. Yeah. How about you?
Exactly.
Are you a 3D printer?
No. No. Not at all. Not at all.
Not that I don't want to go down that rabbit hole. I mean, I would love to, but I would love to not also.
Yes, yeah, yeah. You and me both. My son wants to get into it, and I reached out to some of the guys in the drone community saying, okay, which way should he start out? How to go about it? What's the best ones and for the best bang for the buck type thing? And boy, there's it's all over the place. But yeah, that's something I just don't want to get involved with. I just don't. I don't know. I'd like you did, rather give somebody a couple of bucks. Here you go. Take care of it. Thank you. I appreciate it, and I'll move along.
Yep,
Um,
yep, exactly.
So now you were saying that you teach photography and video editing?
I do. So I'm a photography and broadcast teacher, and I also teach one class or I'm the yearbook advisor. So I
Mhm.
do those three things throughout the day, and we do the morning announcements via the broadcast, and my kids kind of run that show. So yes,
Wow, that's awesome.
yeah,
Congratulations. How long you been doing that? Quite a while, or?
43 years. But if you think about it, we didn't have that 43 years ago, right? So I taught other things before I'm teaching what I'm teaching now. I've been in
Mhm,
this particular building, this high school, since 2017.
mhm.
So 9 years. I've been actually teaching these three subjects.
Wow.
Before that, I did other subjects in other schools. And
Mhm.
yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
Beautiful, that's awesome. So I've been watching your Space Needle videos, and I'll tell you what, I'm just I the it blows me away, it really does, because that's something that's on my bucket list to see in person, and, it's just that now do you live around there so you can get there relatively quickly?
Uh, Fairly quickly. I live 20 miles as the crow flies. It's about a
Mhm,
30-minute drive if there's no traffic. It can be a lot longer if there is traffic. But when I go up I leave the house about 5 in the morning. So I get up there, at 5:30, 5:35. And, so I fly in the morning, and all my night shots are early in the morning. And I beat
mhm.
the traffic. And then coming home, or to go to work, because I've got to go to work. Then I've got to go back the other direction,
Okay.
and traffic is always heavier going into the city, into Seattle,
Hmm.
than coming out. So you know, I can get to Seattle fairly quickly, and then when I head to work, there's no traffic at all, and I zip right to work, and it's maybe an hour drive, if that.
Oh, nice. There you go.
So, but yeah, so it's about a 30-minute drive. So it's not something that I do often.
Hmm.
There's a couple of guys that I've flown with that showed me some spots to take off at.
Hmm.
Angel Planos is the guy that kind of showed me in one spot to take off. It was kind of a cool little area. And then I found one kind of on my own that was closer to what they call Climate Pledge Arena, which is where the hockey games are played, and the women's basketball. It used to be the Sonics, uh, arena, but
Yep.
so I've that's where that's where I've been taking off lately, only because I want to get close to the needle without having to fly to it,
Hmm.
and because I've got to stay within 400 feet of the needle if I want to go as high as the needle, right? Because the needle's 600 feet tall, so I've got to stay within 400 feet. Being a
Hmm.
107, you've got to do that. The nice thing is there's some arches. It's called the Seattle Science Center, and there's some
Hmm.
arches probably 600 feet from the needle, but they're 130 feet tall. So
Wow.
those, of course, also count. So 130 plus 400 is 530. I can almost get to the top of the needle, um,
Wow.
flying, further back is, I guess,
Yep.
what I'm saying. So I don't have to be
Hmm.
so close, because 400 feet is pretty darn close, and you're not going to see, the whole needle. You're going to be kind of close up, and
Hmm.
so there's an advantage to flying where I was flying, because I've got that extra 130-foot arches that are, relatively, I'm guessing 600 feet back from the needle.
Hmm.
So yeah,
Wow. Boy, that's some calculations. And
yeah,
you're
oh yeah,
107.
yeah. I've taken the I've gone to Google Maps and did the measurements and said, okay, this is exactly where I can launch from and still
Hmm.
be legal, right? Because I don't want to be outside that 400 radius. And then I thought, well, those arches are 130 feet. I can back up even more. And really, the deck of the needle is about 520 feet from the
Hmm.
ground. So the top of the needle, the tip top is 605, which, so if you wanted to go, above the whole structure, it's 605 way up there. But to get where the people, kind of the outlook, that's
Hmm.
about 520 feet off the ground. So
Wow. Now, how high can you go? I mean, with your calculations, because how high can you go? Can you get over the needle?
oh yeah, yeah. If I stay within 400 feet, I can fly 1,005 feet. Right, it's 400 feet above a man-made structure, so that's 600 feet
Wow.
plus 400 is 1,000. So
So
I could
yeah.
fly 1,000 feet. Mm-mm. You know, I flew 550 feet the first time about a couple of months ago, and it was like, because it's windier up, and I'm like, okay, okay, just really keeping an eye on that bird so it's not blowing anywhere, and I'm not too
Yep.
close to, I'm not going to run into anything, because yeah, I could see it being a disaster if I didn't pay attention. So
Yeah. Yeah. Now, are you using the Air 3S for that?
I use the Air 3S for that. Yep.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, that has been I mean, it's been my favorite for a while now, and I've flown it in some crazy winds. Now, Josh and I were talking a couple of weeks ago or whatever. We were topping out. I've had it around 42-mile-an-hour gusts, and it holds really, really good. It's
Nice.
amazing. It really is. You get to the problem is you get to a point where you fly it. I've been flying it more often than not, and then when I get into like the Mini Pro 5, all of a sudden it's just you can't get anything to stand still in a decent wind. I'm like, oh yeah, that's right, I forgot. But
Yeah,
you get so accustomed to it, it's really funny. It's something else. Um,
exactly.
Bob, Bob's got a question for you. Let me see if I can get it. He wants to know about light painting with a drone. He's a master at it. Oh, that's right. Yes. Thanks, Bob.
So I really like to do that. And I do that with my Well, I've done it with my Mini 3 Pro, believe it or not, with just the landing lights, and doing that. But I usually do it with the Mavic 2, and I strap some lights on the sides,
Hmm.
and um, a DSLR. I put it on a tripod. I put about a 15-second exposure on it, depending on what I'm doing, and I take the bird out and I just circle it and snap it, and gives me some really cool arches. I've done some stuff around a lighthouse in Tacoma that I did a long exposure. So I did 196 shots at 15 seconds apiece, and one of the 15 seconds was the orbit around the lighthouse with my drone, and then I got it out of the picture, and then I kept shooting for the other 195 shots, and then I basically put them together in a program called Star Stacks, and it's only
Hmm.
a PC app, unfortunately, but it puts all the pictures together, and then I've got the star trails over the and I'm pointing. I said, okay, I want to point the camera north because
Hmm.
I want to get the circle right above the lighthouse, and so again, some pre-thought to that uh, is always good. And then I've flown like an old truck in a field, and I've flown
Hmm.
the a light painting around over the truck, which is kind of cool.
Yep.
The bad thing about that is um, I had to put my because I didn't bring my tripod that day, and I
Hmm.
had to put the camera on the hood of the car, and
Yep.
then there wasn't quite enough light, so I had to turn the car on to get my lights to work on the car. So now I got vibration right on the
Yep.
hood,
Hmm. Yeah.
a little bit, so it's not super clear. And then to
Hmm.
boot, the neighbor drives by and just starts, eyeballing me like, what's he doing? It's an old field with a barn, and she waited for me to come out. She was brave. I couldn't believe it. And so I was there for about 15 minutes doing my shots, and I got back in the car and started driving off the property. And she was sitting in her car right off the property. I thought, okay, I'm just gonna roll my window down and let her know what I was doing. I wasn't, breaking in or anything. And so
Yeah.
we talked, but I thought it could have been dangerous for
Yeah.
either of us, really. I mean, who knows what I could have had, right? I mean, you just
Yeah.
didn't know. If
Absolutely.
I'm breaking in, does this guy have a gun? And am I gonna? Is he gonna shoot me when he drives next? So I mean,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
was shocked. But anyway, I said, "This is what I'm doing," and and I showed her the image. She said, "Oh, cool, okay." Because I called the owner. She said, "I just called the owner," and this is like 2 a.m. I
Oh
just called
boy.
the owner, yeah, and told him that he had someone on his property. I'm thinking,
Oh no.
but nothing ever happened with it. In fact, I got a hold of the guy and I
Hmm.
sent him the images, and he liked them. So he said, like, "Hey, thanks," and so he wasn't. But she, like Mrs. Kravitz, right? She was kind of the nosy neighbor, and it's like, okay, you were really brave sticking around, not knowing who I was.
Yeah. Especially at that time. I mean.
Yeah. And so I do a lot of that. I love light painting. Thanks for asking, Bob. And it's just something that I do with my DSLR, and it's again a mix of photography and drone flying, and you put them both together, and you come up with something kind of cool. So
Very cool. Very cool. We had another question from Brian Waypoint in New England. He wanted to know, how did your Maverick 3 meet its demise?
so I'm not sure exactly, but the right front leg, every time I close the legs up to put it back in the bag,
Mm,
one of the legs would make a clicking sound as I closed the leg up,
mm,
and it kept making a clicking sound. And then I kind of looked, and a little piece right next to the body was starting to crack, and that was
mhm.
the noise I was hearing. And then so one day I was in a hurry, and I opened the legs up, and boom, the leg fell off, and it just
Wow.
completely fell off
Ugh.
the board. And I thought, okay, well, and this is right around the time you couldn't send your drones in to get repaired, right?
Yep.
And
Mhm.
so I was just stuck with it, I guess. So
Wow.
I'm gonna go get the Air 3S then, and I'm gonna get the Maverick 5, and then I also got the Neo 2 at this. God, I got way too many birds all at once.
So have you been flying the Neo 2 at all?
A little bit. I have. I liked it. I really flew it a lot when I got it.
Hmm.
Um, and then, I've hooked it up to the goggles. I've hooked it up to the controller. So yeah, I like it. Do you like yours?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I've had it for probably 3 weeks now, and I've only got maybe two batteries through it so far. But I'll tell you what an improvement over the one Neo one. It really it's a whole nother world. It's
It
really
is.
nice.
It really is. Yeah.
I'm surprised that the improvements they've made on such a small platform. It's just it's pretty cool. It's gonna be my next favorite because Josh and I have been in love with the Flip for quite a while now, and this Neo 2 I think is going to take its place. I really do.
Yeah. And I thought, okay, it's going to be much larger than the Neo. It looked like it to me. I thought, okay, it's going to
Mhm,
be a much bigger bird, and it's not that bad. I mean, it is bigger, but it's
mhm,
not like overly large compared to the Neo. So,
mhm.
I was happy with that.
Yeah, yeah, me too. Absolutely. Okay.
And I started flying my very first drone. Some of you might remember 3D robotics. Can you guys see that? This is the battery. It's probably about 10 pounds. No, it's not 10 pounds. It's heavy. So the 3D robotics. I don't know if you guys remember that. They were probably most well known for their Solo, but the Solo
Hmm.
drone. But this was their, and I don't know if this was their first drone.
Ooh,
Oops.
hold on a second. Let me put you up here to get you on the big screen.
So this is the
Wow.
Iris Plus, and the GoPro sits underneath here, and I've got a monitor that goes basically from here and gives me my image on the ground to the monitor that I have to put on a light stand, and yeah, that was a fun drone. I've not flown that. In fact, I should try to sell that to someone who wants to tinker. But yeah, it's
That's crazy. What a
it's
difference.
it's it's a it was a fun drone. It was my very first real camera drone that I flew, and then I was about to buy the Solo, just about to buy it,
Hmm.
and Solo came or 3DR came out and said we're not making drones anymore. The
Oh,
Solo was the last one. We're out of the drone business. We're going to do software only. And I thought, oh, I didn't buy the Solo. So then I went and got the Phantom 3 Standard, which, did 2K. And I still
yep.
have that. And that was, I'm glad that's when I jumped ship over to DJI and went from there. So,
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Rick is jumping in Buckeye Drones and saying if you want to get that the Mavic 3 repaired, Camrise in New York City will give you a quote on fixing that.
okay.
They've done some work for me myself, as a matter of fact, and they've been fantastic. I mean, quick turnaround time, reasonable, and even if I think it's like $25 for the look see at it, they go through it and tell you what it's going to cost, and if you don't like it, then they'll ship it right back to you. So
Okay. And
yeah,
the nice thing about DJI, it was free shipping. So I don't, I'm probably gonna have to figure out what shipping would cost. But something,
yeah.
shipping is ridiculous unless you're a
Oh,
company, right?
absolutely.
It's
Unbelievable how bad it is.
60, $70 just to ship that drone, I'm sure.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I mean, I shipped a couple of small items, as a matter of fact, from Connecticut to it was out Wyoming area, and it was just like small coins, and literally was $35 freight wise in UPS ground. I was like, this is incredible. I can't. I mean, how it's just not sustainable. It's just it's outweighing whatever you're putting out there for a product. It's like I don't know how these businesses are staying in business. I really don't when it comes to
Yeah,
freight.
oh, exactly. Yep. Yep.
Yeah, we're getting all kinds of stuff in the chat. If anybody's got any questions for Lance, just go ahead and put them in the chat. Once again, Josh has been torn away from the ship and the show tonight because he's got work going on, and I guess a bunch of people called out due to the snowstorm, so he got stuck holding the barrel, and he's holding up the whole business. And Doing a good job. So he says. He says he's going to try to make it in later, but I don't think that's going to happen. It's just been tough. But so Lance, are you going to come down to South Florida Drone Meetup?
I am at some point in my lifetime.
Okay.
I'm getting closer to retirement, and I think once I pull that trigger, I think I'll take a trip to South Florida for sure.
Yeah.
And I don't know that it's going to be this year, although I'm trying to talk my wife into saying, let's call it a career. She's not quite there. She teaches first grade, so she's like, I might want to go one more. And my daughter's a junior in college, so we're looking to finance that still, right? So
sure. Yeah, no sense in getting out of it too quick. Pace yourself.
Do you shoot waypoints very much?
No, I do not. It's something I haven't. I've been flying for quite a while. It's just I'm trying to. 2026 is the year that I'm going to start trying to get more technical in my shots. We were talking last week, and I haven't even done any master shots. I do everything manually. And I see that the spotlight mode is something that I've been missing out on, so I got to start trying that a little bit more. And it's pretty neat. I mean, have you been using waypoints?
I shot a waypoint this morning, a hyperlapse waypoint, which I hadn't shot for a long time, and it was dark, and I wasn't real happy with it because I had the drone going at 1.1 miles an hour. I needed to slow it down because it was pretty jerky, when it was. So I'm going to try that again the next nice day I have. I think it's supposed to be dry tomorrow. I might try then. But I did a night to day waypoint on a bridge in Tacoma that I did, but I had to really finesse it in post to get it to match up because I think the barometric pressure was a little off because the bridge didn't really match as well as it sometimes does, I think. And so I played around with that as well. So I do both. I do waypoints, and then like I said, I love to do hyperlapses, and I love to do hyperlapses at night, or for me, it's the morning. And just to see the streaks of the cars and all of that. So I did a sunrise, and we've got such a great place to fly with the Mount Rainier and the Seattle skyline and the Tacoma skyline. And so it's just a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, no, some of the stuff you've been putting out is just amazing. It really is. Now we got a couple of questions in the chat. Rick Buckeye Drones, he says that you need to meet up with Marcus and get a Northwest drone meetup going.
yeah, exactly. Yep. And he lived in Seattle for a while, so he kind of knows the area. But for sure, and I fly with about 5 guys semi-regularly in my area, and it's nice to meet up with them. I've got a buddy who just bought the V-copter, and I got to fly his V-copter the other day, which is kind of cool. And,
would you like it? I mean, what do you think? You got to dive in?
I do. It's so quiet. You don't even know there's a bird in the air. I mean, it is almost silent. And the weird thing is, he said, "Okay, Lance, I'm going to show you this," and he takes off, and within 10 feet, he lost control of it, and it started to just orbit. The thing is, it orbited around an 80-foot fir tree, and it was, and I thought, how did it not hit that tree, going all the way around the tree several times until he finally got control? And we were both like, I was like, it's going to hit a branch. It is going to hit a branch. And it was like, how did you not hit any of those branches and going around that fir tree? And he got control of it and brought it back down. And then he did all that, he did compass calibration after that, not knowing what the issue was. But after that, it flew fine.
Beautiful.
But yeah, have you flown one or seen one?
I actually just got mine in. I ordered it when I was at the South Florida Drone Meetup last year in April, and it literally showed up last week.
Okay.
I was like, all right, I haven't even opened the box yet, So yeah, it's going to be. I can't wait to try it because Johnny Drone Flyer's got his, and he's been flying for quite a bit. And I saw his down at the meetup. And I was just amazed at this thing. I mean, I don't know how it does it. It just doesn't seem right for some reason.
It doesn't, does it? Yeah. And did you get yellow or black?
Yellow.
Yeah. And the yellow is kind of a cool yellow. I thought it was like a bright yellow. I thought, okay, it's going to be bright yellow, but it's kind of a South Florida yellow, right? It's kind of a,
Hmm.
Easter egg yellow. It's kind of
Yes.
cool.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. Oh man. Let me see. Bob, let me see. Bob had a question for you. He wanted to know if you can play the waypoints on your computer when you're doing waypoints, or do you do it on the controller?
I do it on the controller. On my Mavic 2, I
Hmm.
was down in La Quinta, which is California. It's PGA West, and my family was staying on the stadium golf course,
Hmm.
and I did waypoints on the screen of my phone. So I
Hmm.
tapped the waypoints on my screen, and then I flew it. So I knew the area, because I was there, and I thought, okay, I've got to be 130 feet, and I've got to do this, but I've never done it on the computer. I've done it on the phone before the flight,
Hmm.
one or two times. But normally, like this morning, I flew it. I flew the route, and then I brought it back, and that's my norm. Is what I
Hmm.
is how I do it. Is fly it
Nice.
and then bring it back and start it.
Wow. Yeah, I've got to. I haven't messed with waypoints at all, and I really have to start diving into it to get to a point where I'm more comfortable with it. I'm just afraid. I'm so cautious when I fly. I just want to make sure I'm totally in control of it all the time. And
Yeah,
just sometimes you get a little bit. You get that. Oh my, where is it going? What's going on? And
exactly.
yeah,
So, Bob, do you fly waypoints, and how do you do yours? If you do, give him a minute to respond here. It's
sure. Jeremy is saying he's saying that you can connect a Bluetooth mouse to your RC2 and do waypoints that way. Wow, that's
okay.
interesting. He's always on the cutting edge of tech. He really is. Some of
Yeah,
the
yeah,
stuff he
it's
comes up with,
amazing.
I'm like, how is that possible?
Exactly.
But yeah, so we went over the R3S. So what do you when you do your editing, what software are you using? Nice.
I'm using Premiere Pro.
Hmm.
Is my editing software of choice. I really like that. I don't know what I'm going to do when I retire because I get the free copy via my work,
Hmm.
and so being a broadcast teacher, I've got to have that software to be able to learn and keep my kids abreast of all the new technology in that software. So there's some things in there that they're just releasing that I really like. It's like, okay,
Hmm.
I might not retire for 5 or 6 more years. This software is getting so good. The
Yeah, the
AI,
pricing.
yeah, and very pricey, But as an educator, I think you can get. See, you can get Photoshop and Lightroom for $9.99. I want Photoshop and Premiere for $9.99. I
Hmm.
and believe it or not, most photographers are Lightroom people. It, I am a Photoshop person, and Photoshop has Camera Raw, which is
Hmm.
basically Lightroom. And Photoshop does things that Lightroom can't. So that's why I always use Photoshop. I tinker in
Hmm.
Lightroom every once in a while, but Photoshop is my photography, also editing of choice as well.
Okay. Okay. Huh, interesting. Yeah, I've been back and forth quite a bit, and the couple of the guys in the community have got me hooked on DaVinci, so I'm starting to learn that, and it's coming along pretty good. And I'm just surprised that they give away the free version with so much functionality in it. It's like I don't understand it. Like,
Oh, yeah,
where's the
yeah.
hook? You know?
And that's what I think I'm going to go to once I do retire is Da Vinci. And Donald Doss, Mudball Don,
Yep.
he's kind of converted over to Da Vinci, and he and I have chatted a couple times about the editing process. And he's of course a really good editor,
Yeah.
and
Yeah. No doubt.
he says he's struggling learning the learning curve compared to Premiere. He's like, it's a work in progress, he says. So
Yeah.
I need to dive into it, I think.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, I've been John Flynn turned me onto it a while ago, and I've been just anything that I'm even slightly not sure of, I'll jump on and I'll start YouTubing it to death just to dive into it. And I've noticed that there's so many different people doing explaining the same thing. Some you just can't grasp, and then some just all of a sudden it just comes to you and it's perfect. So been pretty good, pretty lucky like that lately, getting stuff together.
Exactly. And there's always 100 things to do the same thing that you want to do. There's 100 different ways to do it. And that's what I tell my kids. I'm going to show you a way to edit this photo in Photoshop, but you're going to find something that you like better. Use that. Don't listen to me.
Mm-hmm.
Just use what works for you.
That's true. That's great. Bob was saying that he has done he's done the waypoints with lychee, and he's done it with the Mini 5.
Okay.
Yeah,
And
I'm not
does he
familiar.
do lychee with the Mini 5? Does it work on the
Yeah,
Mini 5?
yeah,
Okay,
that's
good.
what Bob's saying. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
cool. Very cool.
I almost bought lychee on a Black Friday. It was like much cheaper, and I just thought, I don't want to bring another software. And then the thing is, with the lychee, you've got to use your phone, or you have to have what is the Pro controller for the Mini, or not the Mini, the Mavic 3. The,
The
the the nice one, to where you can put third-party apps on it. Because right now the RC2, I don't think you can put third-party apps on.
yeah,
Correct me if
no,
I'm wrong. And
no,
then the
no. I'm pretty sure
regular
it's the Pro.
version, you cannot. I know you can't put third-party apps
Oh,
on that one. But
Bob's saying it was on an Air 2S. He was saying.
okay,
Okay.
and he probably used his phone, is my guess,
Mm-hmm.
as
Interesting.
the monitor.
Yeah. Cool.
Which
Rick is saying
we
that
all
Amazon. Rick was just saying that Amazon's got the DJI Power 1000 for $349 again. If anybody's looking.
349. I bought mine for 389. Yeah,
You and me both.
it was about a year ago
Wow,
or so.
man.
It's a good deal.
Yeah, not bad at all. Yeah,
Trying to get it out the door to bring the 2000s in, right?
yeah, that's exactly what it is. And then they go to the version 2 of each one of them. It's like, oh, guys, come on, enough already.
Yeah, the little mini one, the smaller one, right?
Yep, yeah, that little 500, that thing's a killer. Oh man. But so if you traveling and flying and videoing things, what would be your favorite place to go? What's on your bucket list once you retire or now?
I want to go back to Rome and fly
Mm,
the Colosseum or near the Colosseum. I also want to fly Cinque Terre, which is on the western edge of Italy. I would like to do that.
wow.
And then, of course, the photographers, Disneyland is Venice, and
Hmm.
Venice is like, that'd be another cool place to fly. And that's the only place I've been in Europe. So that's a that's what I would live with those three areas for sure.
Wow. Well, that's
Yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Well,
How
that
about you?
5 will definitely do good over there. That there's no doubt. Honestly, I want to do the West Coast. I want to get out there and just see some stuff I haven't seen. I bet the last time I was out on the West Coast was, oh God, back in years ago, and it was just San Diego and stuff like that. But
Mhm.
I want to do what I really would like to do is a Vegas drone meetup next year, and get out there and do some flying with Bob and Tom and Jeremy, and just kind of see what's going on. It just looks so different than what I'm used to over here on the East Coast.
I would love to fly the Strip. That'd be another place. And I know Tom and Bob have written waivers to be able to do that. It's like, okay, let me piggyback on that, please.
That'd be awesome.
Let me fly with you that day.
Yeah, yeah, that would be cool. Very cool. Yeah, there's so much out there, and then they set up that Jeep tour where you get to fly around in the Jeeps. I'm like,
Yeah,
oh boy, that just
yeah,
sounds like a lot of fun.
yeah.
You know?
I was in Arizona and I flew. There was a regional park that allowed drones. That was I met a guy online, Mike, forget his last name, lives in Phoenix, and he gave me. We met up a couple times. In fact, we flew their football stadium. He lives really close to the
Wow.
Cardinals football stadium, and I was
Hmm.
staying close to there as well. And we flew that, and then he said, "Okay, go to this park, and it's legal to fly your drone." And it was way cool. I mean, got the 15-foot cactus, and I
Yep.
mean all the rocks, and that was a way cool flight. I wish I would have taken more time to do
Hmm.
that. I probably flew for 15 minutes, which seems like an hour, because
Yeah.
you're so excited that
Yep.
I wish I would have stayed longer and flown that. But yeah, you're right. The West Coast is cool.
Yeah. Yeah, it's something. I just the traveling. I'm getting to the point where I'm looking at. I'm also looking at retirement here in the next year or two, or hopefully sooner. But and just try to map out places that I want to go and just fly. Got all the drones. Everything's ready to rock. And trying to hone my skills with the video editing. And now it's just time to really put work behind me, which is going to be it's going to be something different for me for sure. It's been on
Yeah,
such a rat race and a hamster wheel for 43 years now. It's just this is what you do. This is what you do. Finally, it's like you get a couple of days off. You're like, wow, I need something to do.
yeah, yeah, exactly.
But so, what else? Let's see if we have any more questions here. Yeah, I don't.
Sedona was another cool place to fly that I flew. The trip that I went down to Arizona and met Mike, I also drove up to Sedona and flew that. And that's, the Red Rock and
Oh
it
yeah.
was kind of a cool area to fly as well. It
Hmm.
was about a 2-hour drive, and we drove up and back the same day. So that's a 4 hours in the car with two high school seniors that don't want to be in a car. Three high school seniors. We took three, my daughter and two of her friends.
Wow. I hope they had internet connection all the way
Yeah,
on the phone the
exactly.
whole time.
Yep, yep.
So, have you ever seen any concerts over at Red Rocks?
I have not. I have not.
No, me neither. I that's another bucket list item, to head
Yep,
out there and
yep.
see something.
Maybe the Coral Reefer Band, right?
Oh boy, yeah, we could talk for days.
Yeah, we could, but
Yeah. Now you're obviously a big parrot head, and
yes.
when yes, absolutely, absolutely.
There you go. There you go. Yeah.
When did you start with Jimmy Buffett?
So my a good buddy of mine, he ended up being my best man. Bought the album Volcano. So when
Hmm.
was that? 76,
Yeah.
77, and he played it. I'm like, oh, this is cool. And then I met my wife in '83, and I was into Jimmy Buffett then, but
Hmm.
I invited her over for dinner. We were both in college, and I am not a cook. And
Hmm.
I said, come on over for dinner. I'm trying to, get a date with her. And I said, come
Sure.
over for dinner and, I'll cook you lasagna. And, back in the turntable days. And I put on A1A. And she
Yep.
was like,
Okay. Sure.
her jaw dropped and said, you've got to be kidding me. You're a Buffett fan too? And it's like, love at first sight. So we were both Buffett fans. This was January of '83. March of '83, he came to Seattle and he came acoustic by himself, just him and
Wow.
his guitar in the Paramount Theater. And I said, okay, I'm getting us tickets. She had the car, and we're in Ellensburg, which is about 2 miles, 2 hours east of Seattle. That's where we went to college, and we had to drive 2 hours into Seattle, go to the concert. We spent the night and came back the next day. But anyway, we went to that concert and ended up marrying her. So
Nice. That's it. That was a match made on an island.
yes, exactly,
Nice.
exactly. Yeah, Pirate looks at 40, right?
Yeah. Oh boy. Yeah. It's been something. Boy, it's been a parrot head for quite a while. I don't know how I got into it, but it's following that lifestyle, or at least trying to. And whenever I
Yep.
go down to Florida, it's just like you got to hit the Key West and hit all the bars and all the usual places, and that's been an
Yeah.
adventure in itself.
Yeah, Key West is crazy. Captain Tony's where it all started, right?
Yeah,
Right
yeah.
right off of Duval Street. If you've never been to Captain Tony's, that is a must stop for anyone that's a parrot head for sure.
Oh yeah, I love it. It's too much fun. It really is.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've been down there a few times, and it's always we skipped 2 years now, but we're headed back down. I think next year. Yeah, maybe this coming year. I think, but yeah, it's too
Well,
much to.
next time you go, let me know because my
Mhm,
wife and I want to go again. We've gone 3 times since about 1995, and
mhm.
but we're going to go again. And my daughter wants to go again. Believe it or not, we took her down about 5 years ago, and it was miserably hot. I mean,
Oh no.
it was July. No, it was late June, and just and walking the streets of Duval Street, she was just pissy. She was like,
Hmm.
a high school kid that didn't want to walk on the streets. And my wife and I were having a good old time. Checking out the
Yep.
shops and restaurants and bars. But anyway, yeah,
Yeah. No, my wife's the same way, Holly. When it comes to heat and humidity, she's not, and she's originally from South Carolina, but whenever she gets into heat and humidity, she's just miserable. She just doesn't want to know anything. She's like, where's the air conditioning?
yep, yep, exactly, exactly.
Got some technical difficulties here. I don't know what's going on with that. Got a couple of pop-ups, but okay, I think everything's still going okay. Um,
So, what's your favorite drone that you fly?
Lately I've been flying the Air 3S and the Mavic 4 Pro has been pretty interesting. It's a big, heavy bird. She's just, but I love the hyperlapse time on the battery. I mean, I'm getting 38 to 42 minutes depending upon what I'm doing, and it's just wow. It's a beast. It makes my Air 3S feel like a mini. It's so heavy.
Yeah,
Um,
and it looks like a good bird. I bet I mean, the footage off the four is, I mean, that's the bird to have for
yeah,
sure.
yeah. I to the point now where I've flown this one more than the 3S, and I've thrown the 3S more than the 4, and I think I'm going to just stay with the 4S and use the 3S as a backup because the 4 is just that much more, and the zoom on it. I like the zoom on it. That's a
Yeah,
bit better because I've got I also mess around with the thermal, so I've got a 4T, and that's got a 112 zoom. And once you get used to something like that, reaching out and just getting crazy with it, you're like, 3 or 4 times really isn't doing much for you.
no, no,
Yeah, I did some osprey nests and stuff like that, and I used the 4T. So this way, I mean, I was like a tenth of a mile away and just zooming in on them because I don't want to disturb anybody or anything.
yeah,
And
sure.
it's been great. It really has. So I think the 4 is going to be my platform between that one and the Neo 2 is going to be the way I'm going to go from now on. Traveling wise, that I'll tell you what, that 4 is going to be is because I tend to bring too many batteries with me. I'm a battery nut.
Yeah,
Um, and yeah, you put 4 batteries in a bag with the drone. You got some good heft to it. So
yeah.
carry on wise, that's going to be interesting.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But
And I like the on my Mini 5. I really and I got the Mini 5 Pro because I wanted the tilt, the tilt camera,
mhm,
that turned, just because. And I thought you could get creative on that. I know, it's gimmicky if you just fly straight ahead and you tilt the camera, but if you're flying around something and tilt it, you can get some pretty cool and interesting things doing that type of a flight. So
yep.
that's what I've been practicing. Although I haven't flown the 5 for a while.
Hmm. Yeah, I tell you what, as soon as you start tilting, it's a whole. You're like, oh wow, hey, check this out. That's pretty neat. You can really mess around with it. It's interesting.
Yeah.
Jeremy's Jeremy, some promo guys talking about controllers. Yeah, I've got the newest controller with the bigger screen on it, and boy, that thing's once you use that, it's like using a mini iPad. I can't go back to the RC2s. I can't. It's just crazy. I tried to get it to hook up to the Neo the other day, but it wouldn't. I couldn't. It won't do it. It just won't. I'm like, oh man. So yeah, but have you done any of the hand gestures, or are you using a controller for your
Oh no,
Neo?
I've done the hand gestures. Those are fun. Yep.
Yeah.
Um, the dolly zoom doesn't go back far enough. I don't think.
Hmm.
Have you done the dolly zoom yet?
No, not at all.
I was hoping it was going to go, I don't know, 30 feet back and then come in and do a
Hmm.
dolly zoom. But it's like 10 feet from you, and it does all of a 3-second video. I mean, it's just not long enough, I don't think, to take advantage of that cool effect. I've always
Hmm.
liked the dolly zoom. I've done the Space Needle by hand doing the dolly zoom,
Oh
just
wow.
going toward the needle or going away, and then editing that in post to make it
Hmm.
look like it was Alfred Hitchcock type of thing. So,
Wow.
but I was thinking that the Neo 2 would do a really good job, and I would have to worry about figuring out the percentage of 120% to 100%, and doing that edit to get it to look good, by hand. I thought the Neo 2 will do it well for you. Well, it only does like a 3-second video.
Yeah, yeah.
Unless someone out there in the audience knows something I don't know, and
Mhm,
it does longer.
that's a good
I
question.
did that.
Yeah, if
Yeah.
anybody's got any ideas on how to stretch that out a bit, that'd be great. Yeah, I didn't go down the line and announce everybody. Sorry, guys, about that. Obviously, Josh isn't on tonight. He's working late, so I'm flying the controls by myself here. So I'm missing a bunch of stuff in the chats, but yeah, I don't see anything yet. Yeah, yeah. Um,
Well, who's on? Who's on your show today?
let's
Who's
see.
in the
We've
chat?
got we got a pretty full house tonight. I mean, obviously we got John Flynn. John's in here. Rick's in here. Buckeye Drones. We got Bob Dempsey. We've got Jim's Droning. We got Jim Anderson, Philip Koshat, Johnny Drone Flyer, RJ. Of course, we got Dusty. Dusty's in here. He's something else. We got Terry Gator Drones. We've got Paul Wittenberg. Hey, Paul. Um, who else is in? We got Andrew Hike and Fly. We got Brian Waypoint New England. We got Bud Bieber. Bob Casey was in for a little bit. He's out for dinner. Um, and that seems to be pretty much everybody.
Well, hello everyone. I can't see the chat, so I'll just say hello to the whole shooting match.
Yeah, we had a little bit of and Jody Drone Shots just came in. Yeah, he's saying hi also. Yeah, we for some reason, guys, we had a problem with Restream, and Lance had to go on his phone rather than on a PC. So I don't know, just another thing with Restream. So I mean, we've had pretty good luck with it. It hasn't been terrible, but every once in a while they'll throw you a little spinner and things just don't want to work for whatever reason. So, um, but have you flown in Vegas at all? Or
I have not.
okay.
Gosh, in fact, last time I went to Vegas, I went to a Jimmy Buffett concert back in
Nice.
2003. I think was the last time I've been to Vegas.
Okay. Nice. There you go. Listen, if there's a reason to go, that's why.
That's exactly right. 'Cause
Yeah.
I know Bob Dempsey's a Parrot Head fan as well.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Bob gets on. We get going back and forth. I did. Yeah, I've done pretty much Jones Beach over on Long Island, the Nikon Center,
Yes, he
and
loved Jones Beach.
yeah. Oh boy, it's just something else. I actually I went over there and I flew it with Ray Kelly a couple of times, and It's pretty impressive from the air. It really is. And then to hear some of the history of all the people who used to play there, and they'd come in on boats and this and that was pretty
Yep.
neat. One thing I haven't done yet is I want to fly somewheres near his house in that area. I hear, from what I understand, there's a spot that's down a little ways that you can actually go out to the water on the coast and then fly back down to it. That would be kind of neat, but
Yeah.
haven't done that yet.
Yep.
A little too chilly out there right now.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, there we go. Okay, Bob Casey's back. Hey, Bob. Captain Joe's in. How you doing, Captain Joe?
Okay.
Let me see. And that's pretty much it that I can see right now. Captain Joe says, "Go Pats."
Okay,
Yeah,
Joe.
I'm so happy I don't have a dog in a fight. I tell you what,
I,
just
I
because I
know
live up here.
Paul's in here. Paul's a New England fan.
Yep.
It's gonna be a closer game than they think. In fact, I don't know if those of you that remember a guy by the name of Joe Namath. You guys remember Joe?
Mm.
And he predicted that they were going to win the Super Bowl, and they were so much of an underdog, and they won the Super Bowl.
See
That's
that?
what I'm afraid of. I don't, because Seattle's going to be favored. Yeah, I haven't seen a line yet, but I
Hmm.
know that Seattle is going to be favored, and probably maybe by double digits is my guess.
Oh
I don't
boy!
know. I don't
Wow.
like it though. I don't like us being,
Hmm.
favored. And I don't know if you guys watched the game yesterday, but Woolen almost cost us the game. Our defensive
Really?
back that got angry with the Los Angeles sidelines, and he's been a hothead for us for a long. Yeah, we've gotten
Mm.
rid of a couple guys because of that, and I think they tried to trade him this year, but no one would take him. He
Oh
ended up doing
jeez.
he ended up doing better on the field, but still, it's that okay, calm down. You don't need to get angry. You don't need to get angry at the other team. But
Yeah.
anyway,
Yeah.
almost cost us the game because it was a fourth and 12, and it was an incomplete pass, and he
Oh.
started to goat their sideline, and they threw a flag. First down,
Oh
and they scored
jeez.
a touchdown. On the very next play, they scored a touchdown on him. They threw the
Oh.
ball right at Woolen, and it was
Oh.
Nakua. Touchdown. They're down by 4. We're thinking, okay, that was not a smart move. But
Oh.
anyway, we pulled it off. It was
Captain Joe's saying Seattle by 13. He's saying.
is that what the line is,
I don't know. That's what he's
or is he
saying.
just
Let's see.
predicting, or
Yeah.
is he just
Let's
he's
see.
probably predicting? I don't know that we're going to be that much favored, but
I don't know. Well, we'll see. One way or another, I'll be watching. That's for sure.
yeah,
But
it'll be good.
yeah,
We will. My wife will probably host the event. All my college buddies will be having
nice.
a Super Bowl party. So
Yeah, got a big crew coming in, do you?
yeah, yeah. So yeah, a lot of believe it or not, I live real close to two of my roommates in college live in almost the same city as me. Like they probably live a 10-minute drive, and they live next door to each other. But anyway, yeah.
Wow,
So
that's
it's like the
cool.
three of us were roommates in college, and we do things together a lot. We play pickleball, and we go to the car museum, and we have football parties. The wives like each other, which is good. So
Yeah, no, that's a plus. Big
yeah,
plus.
yeah. And the
Fantastic.
two wives, not my wife, but the other two wives, were high school buddies. So they were high school and college. So the two women have known each other for a long time.
Oh
That are
wow.
married to the other two buddies. So yeah.
Damn. Wow, that's cool. Very cool. Good history.
Yeah, and it's just a weird. Yeah, it doesn't happen like that very often.
No, not at all. Not at all. Well, I'll tell you what. It's been this hour's ripped by pretty quick. I'm glad we didn't have any glitches. Nothing went wrong today so far.
So
But Lance, thanks so much for coming on. Really appreciate your time. And I'm a big fan, obviously. And if anybody hasn't checked out Lance's channel, I'm sure you all have. But I'll post it in there so you can subscribe. And let's see.
Thanks for coming, guys. Everyone that showed up, and thanks for having me on, John. I appreciate it. Miss Josh. I know Josh is also a fellow photographer. It would have been nice to chat as well. But
Oh yeah, you guys would have been, yeah, for sure. But we'll get you back on one way or another. But Lance, again, thank you so much, and good luck. We'll see how things go this season.
hey, thanks a lot, and everyone in the chat, thank you.
You got it. Thanks, guys.